Yo, what's up guys, Yannick here, and welcome back to today's video. What have we got for you today? I have got a debate video. So, I've watched a couple, or quite a few, over the last, 24 hours, because the England squad for the Euros, the 26 provisional squad, has been announced, and there is a couple of debatable picks in there for sure. If you do see me looking sort of up and not actually at the camera, it's because I've got the list just in front of me. So the 26-man squad has been announced, and obviously three players will be cut out of that squad, because obviously only 23 can go to the Euros. But England have got 3 friendlies coming up. One is actually this Sunday, which the FA Cup final is on the Saturday. So there's no Crystal Palace players in the squad, but you got Smalling, you got Rooney, and you got Rashford, who are in the Man United squad, who are probably going to play on Saturday. So they're obviously probably not going to feature in that friendly, which is a bit, why is it the day after? But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about, but we'll start, I think, because obviously I've got the goalkeepers, defenders, and then midfielders and strikers. So is what we'll do, we'll start with the goalkeepers, and then we'll work our way across until we get to the last person, and then we'll just say who maybe could have got in, who shouldn't, blah, blah, blah. So, we'll start with the goalkeepers. We've got Joe Hart, Forster, and Tom Heaton. Now, I think Joe Hart is obviously going to be the definite #1 keeper. Everybody knows that. Fraser Forster would be probably the first choice backup. And then Tom Heaton's probably just there to warm the bench. So I think he's like 30 now, Tom Heaton. So he doesn't really have an international career ahead of him anyway. So I think he's pretty much just there to make up the third goalkeeper spot, really. But I think Jack Butland obviously would have been there and could have pushed Joe Hart. I think he's very close to pushing Joe Hart for that #1 spot for England. I mean, obviously Joe Hart's had it for a very long time now, so for Jack Butland to start really pushing him, I think is really good for England as well. But yeah, unlucky for Jack Butland to pick up that injury against, I think it was Holland. Well, no, Germany. It was Germany because Toni Kroos scored. But yeah, Joe Hart, no complaints about the goalkeeper situation, really. I think, obviously, the obvious thing would be Tom Heaton out, Jack Butland in, if he wasn't, obviously, injured and was available for selection. But, unfortunately, he is not. So, goalkeepers are absolutely fine. You have to take 3. Those would probably be my 3. Maybe Ben Foster, actually, instead of Tom Heaton. I don't know. But either way, the third goalkeeper isn't going to get much of a look in, so doesn't really need to be bothered about. So, defenders, we have got Kyle Walker, Nathaniel Clyne, John Stones, Gary Cahill, Chris Smalling, Danny Rose, and Ryan Bertrand. So, 2 right backs, 2 left backs, and only 3 centre backs. So we got Kyle Walker, great season for Tottenham. Showed good energy, very good energy. Good at getting forward, good at getting back. I think I don't actually think I included him in my predicted Euro squad, but I don't know if I was just off my head or I just don't like. I don't know. I just felt like I just don't see him as an England worthy right back for some reason. But looking back at his whole season, he has had a good season, so I think he does deserve to be there. Nathaniel Clyne again, who's had the right back spot for a little while now, obviously again deserves to be there. When we get on to the centre backs, is it surprising that there is only 3 in there? I mean, you've got Chris Smalling out of the 3 would be, the definite starter and deserves to be there because he has had 2 very good. ever since he got that red card against Man City last season when we lost 1-0 at the Etihad, he has improved so much. So yeah, Chris Smalling is a definite, and he is a definite starter in that back line. We've got Gary Cahill. Chelsea have obviously had a shit season. He hasn't had the best of seasons either, so... But then looking at, obviously, the noticeable centre-back that's not there would be Jagielka. But then who else, obviously, we won't say who else should be out yet, because obviously we haven't got that far. And then you've got John Stones. I'm a big fan of John Stones, I really am. I think he's one of the only English defenders that actually can play football. John Stones could easily play centre midfield, in my opinion. For me, again, left backs as well. Danny Rose, definite goer. Bertrand. Leighton Baines hasn't got in because he's had a bad season, but has Bertrand had the best of seasons? But then again, if Baines doesn't go, I genuinely think, I'm not just saying this because I'm a Man United fan, so when I do actually say this, I actually look at football as a football fan perspective. Just because I support Man United, obviously I said Chris Smalling should be a starter, but as a football fan, you should be saying that because he has had a good season. But I don't look at things as a Man United perspective. I will actually look at it as a football fan perspective. So, but yeah, just before, you know, anyone will start saying, oh, you're so biased. But there's a lot of other people out there that would think the exact same. But Luke Shaw, he was probably our best defender for the first month and a half that he played of the season before he got his horrible injury. But I think he probably would have made the squad instead of Ryan Bertrand if he was obviously fit and did not get that injury, and obviously played consistently throughout the whole season. Because Luke Shaw was just unbelievable. Him and Smalling were unbelievable at the start of the season. Smalling's carried on, and then obviously Luke Shaw did get injured. But anyway, so the defence, we've got a possible, my opinion for a starting back 4 or 5 would obviously be Joe Hart, I think Kyle Walker, Stones, Smalling, and Danny Rose. That would be my back 4. But I would think Hodgson would go with Nathaniel Klein and Cahill instead of Stones and Walker. Just because that's what he would do. So, not really any complaints with the defenders. Maybe another centre-back. But then, the only noticeable one that's missing would be Jagielka. And, again, he hasn't had the best of seasons with Everton. Because Everton haven't had the best of season. But, you know, it is difficult, obviously, picking the squad. But then, if we move on to the midfield, we've got Eric Dyer, who is a very versatile player. He can obviously play right-back. He can play centre-back. So, I think maybe taking 3 centre-backs wasn't such a gamble if he's got Eric Dyer in there, because Eric Dyer could obviously slot in there if needed and obviously do a very good job. And Rooney's in the squad as well. Rooney could play there. Jokes. So yeah, Eric Dyer definitely deserves to go. I'm not actually sure how old he is. I think he's only around 21, 22, which is very good for England because obviously a versatile player and he's really coming on as a footballer. I would never have taken one look at him and thought you could do a job in centre midfield, son. Because he is like, he's quite tall. He doesn't look the most agile of players, but boy can he do a job in centre midfield. Like, just sitting in front of that back 4 could work a treat for England. I would go as far as saying he should probably be one of the first names on the team sheet. Because just why wouldn't you? Like, why wouldn't you? So yeah, he definitely deserves to be there. Dele Alli, what a season. What a baller as well this guy is. Got Premier League goal of the season. Obviously that's not why he's in there, but just throwing it out there. Again, he's quite a versatile midfielder. He can play probably on the left, he could play on the right, he could play in the middle, he could play deep. I would obviously like to see him more further forwards because of the fact of how many like looking at the list of midfielders, looking at the amount of defensive midfielders there are, he would obviously be more suited further forward because just what would he do from deep? The only time I'd play him deep would be in a 4-2-3-1 and like have him say next to Eric Dyer or Drinkwater or something in there, and then like have obviously one of the other two sit in, and then him being allowed to progress on, join in the attack, get things going. But yeah, Dele Alli fully deserves to be in there. Raheem Sterling could be the first notable one in this list that you think, why is he there? I mean, he's got good pace. His finishing does let him down. Any Man City fan could say that, and if they don't, then they are definitely being 100% biased towards him. But I mean, you've seen it at Liverpool. His finishing does let him down. Like that game that he had against us last season when we beat him. I think it was 3-0. He missed about 4 one-on-ones with De Gea. All easy chances that you would have expected him to score, but just missed him. That is one thing that he does need to work on, is his finishing. And then there's no doubt that he could be a lot better. But the last sort of few months at City, I think since January, so this year, he hasn't played that much. He's been coming on off the bench and not really having that much of impact. But I would again, I think I actually left him out of my my predicted squad because I just don't see why he could have gone. But looking at players like Walcott haven't made the squad. He's been told that he hasn't made the squad because he hasn't played enough. But then you look at someone like Sterling, and then there's a definite other couple, which I'll get to in a minute, that haven't even played enough. But then you've got people like Mark Noble, Antonio could have come in on the wing. He's actually had more assists than a few of the players in the squad already. So you would just love to know what was going through Roy Hodgson's head when he thought, you know what, we'll take this guy, this guy, this guy, we'll leave out this guy, this guy, this guy, just because they've played more, you know? But anyway, moving on. Raheem Sterling, yes, I'm kind of glad that he is there. I'm glad that he is there, but I also think he probably shouldn't be there. But, I mean, there's no doubt he could do a job. He's got good energy. He's still young, only 21 or 22. But yeah, definitely needs to improve a lot. Now we get on to the next person, is Ross Barkley. The potential is there, but he's obviously, I don't think he personally shows it because he's quite lazy. There's no doubt he's got a good shot on him. He's got a good ability, but he is very lazy. And I really do look at, you know, players and teams that really press high, good energy, determined to get the ball back straight away. See, if I was picking the squad, that would be in my mind, like players that have got a good work rate, players that are going to give you 110% every time they step out onto that pitch. So yeah, Ross Barkley doesn't come to mind when thinking of that, but he does have great ability, and he's a very good physical player as well, so that could be another reason why he is there. And I think he should be there anyway because of the fact that he is still young. Probably going to be one of England's future midfielders. So for the World Cup in 2 years' time, what will he be? Maybe 25 or something. So that's, you know, mid-20s. He'll be the sort of player that will go to the World Cup and, you know, could do bits. You never know. But yeah, I think he does deserve to be in the squad. Then we've got James Milner. As a footballer, I think James Milner is dog shit. But you've got to admire his work rate. Like, he's such a versatile player as well, similar to Eric Dyer. I think Milner's literally he's played right back before, he's played left back, he's played right mid, he's played left mid, he's played CDM, he's played centre mid, he's probably played striker somewhere down his career as well. Would James Milner be the type of person you start at the Euros? For me, my screen's just gone off. For me, no. but I can see it happening. Like, it's one of them things where you wouldn't start him, but you just know that he will start. But I think he should be in the squad, 100%. But yeah, would you start him? Personally, no, but Roy Hodgson definitely will. You just know it. So we get to the first player that is a definite no-no in the squad for me. Just no, and everybody else has said this as well. Fabian Delph. He's played like 8 games this year for Man City. Gone off injured in about 7 of them. Just shouldn't be there. Like, why is he there? What's his reason for being in that squad? Is it because he played well for England last year? Could be. But then why should that put him in the squad? Like, Mark Noble's played 37 Premier League games this year, scored more goals than him and Jack Wilshere combined, got more assists than him and Jack Wilshere combined, and yet those two are in the squad and Mark Noble is not. Roy Hodgson, what are you doing? And then another one, Andros Townsend. Why is he in the squad? He's had 2 good months maybe this season. Did he even play for Spurs at the start of the season since he went to Newcastle in January? Probably not. Maybe he came on once or twice. But did he score? Not that I know of. Why is he there? Why is Walcott not there? Antonio even. Like I said, he got more assists and goals than half of these people. So yeah, for me, Townsend shouldn't be there. Adam Lallana, you can see why he's there, but again, would he be a starter? For me, no, but probably for Roy Hodgson because he seems to love the Liverpool players. I think Liverpool have actually got the most players in the whole squad other than any other team. So yeah, again, Lallana for me, probably, yes, deserves to be there, but a starter at the Euros, no, but for Roy Hodgson, probably yes. Danny Drinkwater definitely deserves to be there, 100%. No one can say that he doesn't deserve to be there. He has had one of the best seasons for an English midfielder. Like, him and Dele Alli, I think, have been the 2 best English midfielders in the whole Premier League, without a doubt. The goal he scored against Chelsea the other day, absolute cracker. Again, a starter in the England midfield. For me, yes, but for Roy Hodgson, I think no. Because, obviously, he's going to want to start Henderson, Milner, and Lallana, people like that, over him. But for me, I would definitely start Drinkwater. Why not? The energy that he showed this season, positional awareness and stuff, it's been brilliant. But he won't start, and it's a shame. But, you know, I'm not the boss. So, you know. If we get on to Jordan Henderson, 50-50 for me again. Would he start at the Euros? I personally wouldn't. But, you know, he's gonna, so can't do anything about it. Jack Wilshere shouldn't be there. Yes, he is a very good footballer. I'm a big fan of Jack Wilshere, but he's played like 28 minutes this year. He shouldn't be in that squad. Again, Mark Noble, 37 games, 90 minutes pretty much every single week. Doesn't get in the squad. Michael Carrick. I'm not saying Carrick should be there, but he's played more times than Wilshere. Played a lot better than Wilshere, obviously, because he's played more. But Carrick maybe could have been in there for experience. Wilshere's in there because he's played well for England in the past, and he's the best English midfielder. But he shouldn't be in that squad because he's played 28 minutes this year. It's probably a bit more than that, but you know what I mean. So we get onto the midfield, and yeah, I mean, it's a shambles, isn't it? Like, there's definitely 3 players in there that you wouldn't take, which would be Delph, Townsend, and Wilshere. But anyway, they're definitely in there for past performance, which should not be the case, but unfortunately it is. So we move on to the strikers. Now, Harry Kane, definite. Give you good work rate, goal scorer, and will always work to 110%. Jamie Vardy, again, good work rate, good goal scorer, will always give you 110%. You got no problem with having those 2 in that squad, 100%. Will Roy Hodgson play a diamond and play those 2 up front together? Maybe. I think if you had to choose one to start, it would definitely be Harry Kane. I think most people would probably say that. Because obviously if he's going to play like a diamond, it would be those two up front. But if he was going for the one up front in a 4-3-3, maybe a 4-2-3-1, I think Harry Kane will probably get the nod over Jamie Vardy, just purely for the fact that... Actually, I don't know, because like they've not really... Harry Kane beat him by 1 goal this year, 25-24. So there's not really a lot in goal scoring terms that you could say, yeah, he definitely deserves to start over him. But I personally would go for Harry Kane. Just, I don't even know why, just because of the fact, because I don't know. But I just would put Harry Kane up front over Vardy if it was one up front. But I definitely think Hodgson will play 2 up front. So we get to Rooney. The debate will never end with Rooney. Should he go? Should he not go? Why does he deserve to go? Oh, he's only there because he's England captain. He's not there just because he's England captain. Obviously, that is a big part. You wouldn't go to a major tournament without your proper captain, would you? Like, you just wouldn't. But, unless, like, he broke his leg. But then, yes, I can see the side of Rooney shouldn't go. Yes, he has had a poor season. It's his first season that he hasn't scored double figures since joining United. But then, like, he should definitely go because I don't think he will play up front. If he plays up front, that will be the biggest surprise of the whole tournament because he's coming to that age where anybody can say, and anybody should say, Rooney could play any position on that pitch and do a very good job. He'd probably do better than most people that play there week in, week out. Rooney could play 1 game there and probably do a lot better. Yeah, so, like, Rooney could... He won't play up front. I'm 100% sure that he will not play up front. But, you know, when you do look at the midfielders there and how Hodgson would probably pick his team, is there a spot anywhere for Rooney? I think if he plays the diamond, Rooney should probably be the cam, so like the furthest forward of the diamond 4, behind Jamie Vardy and Harry Kane, because why not have an extra goal scorer in the midfield who can actually play in midfield? Like, that Rooney and like Cam would be better than say like, you know, Sturridge or someone, or Kane or Vardy and Cam, because Rooney's just got that, you know, awareness of what's always around him, you know, like he's got the positional sense to just, you know, boss that midfield. You could even see Rooney, you know, as far back with Eric Dyer as like a holding midfielder. Rooney wouldn't give a shit if he got told he was playing centre back, like with Chris Smalling or something. He wouldn't care. Like, as long Rooney with that armband on and playing anywhere is absolutely fine, because he could just play anywhere. Like, he just could. So yeah, no, I personally don't have a problem with Rooney being in the squad. Obviously, there's going to be so much haters saying, oh, he shouldn't be in the squad, he's shit. But, you know, for me, there's no better versatile player in that squad than Rooney. Like, and for someone that wouldn't care to play anywhere at, like, if Rooney got told he was playing left back, would he care? No, of course he wouldn't. He'd be on that pitch representing his country. Why would you care? Obviously, Milner as well is the other noticeable versatile player, like, played literally anywhere. But, yeah, Rooney for me should be in the squad. He is the captain. Will he start? For me, he should, if they play the diamond. Only if they play the diamond, though. If they play a 4-3-3, then, you know, debatable. But for the diamond, him in the cam spot is 100%. So now, right, next on the list is Jamie Vardy, but we've already gone over Jamie Vardy. Definitely deserves to be there. The bottom 2, you know, in the comments below, right, I want, you know, if you want to get involved in, you know, stuff that I've said or your own opinion, feel free to comment, because, you know, I will reply. But we get to Daniel Sturridge, okay? Now, just because I am a Man United fan and he plays for Liverpool, alright, yes, obviously, you know, natural that I don't like Liverpool, but I think Sturridge is a good player, technically, right? Not taking that away from him, but I don't think he deserves to be even on that list, let alone go to the Euros at all. He's been injured for pretty much most of the season. Yes, he scored, I don't know, like 12 goals, I think, maybe. I know it's more than 10, but... So he scored a few goals, fair enough. But if you look at the man underneath him, which is Marcus Rashford, okay? Now this is where everyone's like, oh, you're such a fucking biased prick. If I wasn't a United fan, and I was just... But like I said at the start, I would look at this as a football perspective anyway. But even if I wasn't a Man United fan, right, I would genuinely say... Because I think, right, I think this is how it's going to go. 2 midfielders get dropped and a forward, right? So you got 5 forwards, Kane, Rooney, Vardy, Sturridge, Rashford, and then however many midfielders. But I would personally take Rashford over Sturridge purely for the fact that, I don't know if I did mention it earlier when I was on about like work rates and stuff, but personally over the fact that Rashford will obviously give 110% with and without the ball. Like, you've seen, if you haven't watched him, then like, what are you doing? He runs his ass off. Him, Martial and Lingard, literally, I don't think I've ever seen a trio run and close the ball, especially him and Lingard as well, to be fair. Never seen any 2 youngsters close the ball down so much in my life. And that is purely why I would take him over Sturridge. Because when do you ever see Daniel Sturridge running back to help out his defenders, going out wide, closing the ball down, putting everything on the line? Sturridge only comes into play whenever the ball's like nearly at his feet. And then 9 out of 10 he'll signal to the bench and get subbed off. But I know someone probably will comment saying, you know, oh, you're so biased. But no matter what club I support, even if yes, you would, obviously you wouldn't say it, but like, just as looking at it from a football perspective, I would take Rashford over Sturridge. I think Rashford's probably only there for the experience and will be the one that does get dropped. But then if I was him, I'd feel hard done by, because like, you could look at those front 4 and say Rooney's not going to play up front anyway. And obviously Rashford will have a lot of respect for Rooney because obviously they're teammates and stuff. He'll look at Kane and Vardy and think they're the 2 top goal scorers in the league. They definitely deserve to be there and probably start both up front. And then you look at Sturridge and be like, what a lazy fuck. Like, how is he in there and I'm not? Like, you know, that's just my... Football is an opinionated sport, isn't it, really? I mean, well, any sport is, but mainly football. But I just would take Rashford over Sturridge because he gives more. Yes, obviously Rashford wouldn't start and neither would Sturridge, so what's the difference? The only difference is Rashford would give you a lot more than Sturridge. And Rashford's proven he can score goals as well, like against West Ham, that goal that he scored. Like, you know, he's got it in his locker, he definitely has. And you wouldn't even be far out in saying Rashford could probably play on the wing as well. Yes, he might not be as effective because he's more, you know, away from the action in the middle, but he could probably do a good job out wide. And then just, you know, like looking at yeah, I think the 3 that won't get in the squad, I think personally, would be Rashford, Delph and Andros Townsend. But yeah, I think, you know, I'd like to see Rashford in there, but Sturridge will probably get the nod, unfortunately. But a quick predicted starting 11. I think Hodgson will go for the diamond, just because he has used it a fair bit. I think it will obviously be Joe Hart. I think Nathaniel Klein, Cahill, Small and Danny Rose would be the back 5. Eric Dyer will probably be at the heart of the diamond. Now, I think he'll probably, if he's fit, Jack Wilshere will definitely be in there, just from Roy Hodgson's point of view. And then Milner probably on the other side. Rooney, Cam, and then Harry Kane and Vardy. I think that might be something along the lines of, or maybe Lallana instead of Rooney, because like Hodgson's come out and said that he doesn't need to start Rooney, he's under no pressure, but if you're going for work rate, right, my personal starting 11 would be Joe Hart, Walker, Stones, Smalling, Danny Rose. Great back four, that. Unbelievable. Eric Dyer, Drinkwater, Dele Alli, Rooney, Kane and Vardy. That would be my personal starting 11, but, you know, obviously, like I said before, I'm not in charge, so my opinion doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, that's going to be it. This has gone on for far too long. I just can't stop talking when I start talking about football. But anyway, if you have enjoyed this video, guys, please make sure you do drop a like, subscribe for more, and I will catch you in a bit.